screens, I want to show you an app that's going to be available for a lot of the quests moving forward. Okay, so one of the things that we're focusing a lot on in here is AR and VR, right? We know what VR is? What's VR? Right, what's AR? Well, it is alternate reality, but that's actually a little different. What's it in this context? Augmented reality. What's that mean? What is augmented reality? Nobody? Who plays a game that might have or played a game or knows of a game that might have augmented reality components to it? Or really, what's that? Come on, there's one game in particular that took the world by storm as probably the first real great use of augmented reality, I'd say.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah, Pokemon Go. That's augmented reality, right? Anybody play it? Okay. When you're playing it in AR mode, if I'm playing here, I'll see Pikachu there, like in the classroom, right? So that's kind of what AR is. Now, we have a lot of different opportunities in here to play with AR. Okay, there's the merge cube, which I don't know if we've used in here yet. Anybody see the merge cube before?
Yeah.
You have. Have you used it?
I feel like we have.
We have in here, or you have?
Here.
Oh, okay. I probably showed you little stuff on it. I'll show you more. One example of that is you could take a build from your Minecraft Education Edition worlds, export them, and then see them in this cube in the real world. So I would be looking at this cube with my phone, and even though you wouldn't even see the cube anymore, you would see this Minecraft build in there. And then I could even go a step further and place it in the real world. There's a lot of neat things you could do like that. Okay, well, there's also this app that I'm going to be showing you today called Metaverse. Anybody ever hear of it or use it? No? Then you're in for a treat. So Metaverse is a great app for creating interactive content. Now, it could be as simple as making like a choice-based adventure game with branching choices, right? Real easy to do with Metaverse. Also, as easy is building in an AR component where, let's say I'm looking around and I'm supposed to interact with a wizard in my game. I could have the wizard there in the real classroom saying something above his head, and then I do what I'm supposed to do on the phone with the choice that I choose, okay? I can do the same thing in not augmented reality if you just choose that it makes more sense. And that's something you're going to be wanting to think about a lot. When does it make sense to have it be in augmented reality? Like, when is that effect or that factor going to really leverage the potential of AR versus when would it be easier to just have the adventure game, just have the picture of the wizard without the wizard having to be sitting in the middle of the classroom? You know, those are things you'll think about, okay? That's one thing you could do. One thing I did yesterday was I created an app, and I'll show you what it was. Let's see if I can bring it up on here real quick. So this is what I did on my snow day. Did anybody see my either tweet or message yesterday in Classcraft about a little bonus you would have had? Nobody even saw it? Okay, moving forward, if we have a snow day, it doesn't mean the learning has to end, okay? If we have a snow day, you can still work on quests. In fact, I think it's a great opportunity. I spent my day, honestly, or a lot of it, working with things like this Metaverse because I think it's cool and fun, honestly. Maybe I'm a geek, which I am, to learn and whatnot. But I was having a great time doing this, and in your case, this would have been quests. And I actually gave double XP for quests submitted yesterday, but you didn't know because you didn't see it. Had you seen it, you would have been able to act on it, but that's okay. Now, let's see if I could find... Well, okay. So this is the output of an app I created yesterday. It's called Smiles from Around the World. What I did was I created an app in Metaverse that did a few things, okay? And I'm trying to think where I can see the... Let's see if I go to next, if it brings me to the... here you go. So here's the app, okay? And you can get to this very easily with the QR code, on your phone. And it says, selfies from around the world. Please share a quick selfie or video and tell us where you're from. So I'm going to right now do a selfie. I'll just do me in the classroom. And here I am. I'm ready to take a selfie. This is me. I could have also done a video, right? So there I am. You see that? It's like magic, okay? So I took the selfie, and then it's doing something with it. Now it goes back to the main menu and gives me some other choices. I could view the wall, I could end the experience, I could tell my location where I am, or I could do another selfie or video, or I could, so viewing the wall, there's the picture I just took, right? So there's that picture. And then these are other people who participated from around the world. A lot of them are local-ish. This person here is from Israel. You don't recognize somebody else there. Okay, so that's how this app works. And I'll show you how, you want to see how easy it was to make it, essentially? So when I go to get started, and soon you'll create an account in Metaverse, there are already quests in the AR, VR area in using Metaverse. There's a ton of tutorials, and I learned this from a tutorial, but when I go to my Smiles Around the World one, and I go to edit, let me just show you. It won't make so much sense to you at this moment, but here's that first card we saw, right? Where it said selfies around the world, take a selfie, location, blah, blah, blah. After I do that, if I chose selfie or video, notice how it connects to this card. This card interacts with my camera, okay? That's how I was able to take a selfie or a video. If I chose location, it brings me to this where it says, let us know where you're from, and I actually can I typed in New Jersey, USA yesterday. Both of these go to this thing, which is a block called Save to Wall. Now, Save to Wall is something in Metaverse where if you have put up what's called a wall, or a media wall, which I created called Smiles from Around the World, I could also create a new wall very easily, and that's when it shows the wall, and basically end experience simply goes to end experience, okay? You get the idea, though, how all of these cards are connected? That's how Metaverse works, all right? Now, I'm going to go back, and we're going to create a new experience together, okay? So when I go to create experience, now, actually, why don't I first show you the awesome experience we created in period 1. You want to see it? My experience is we created a game, and I need to title it. I obviously didn't do a whole lot. I want to edit it. So this was based on the Bee Movie. And anybody watch the Bee Movie? Because I've never seen it. Apparently it was very popular among my first period class. Yes? Bee Movie fans? No? Not as much in this class? It's a period 1 thing. So apparently the movie opens, or there's something in it that says, according to all known laws of aviation, there is no way a bee should be able to fly. Then I just chose to ask the player their name. So they're going to type in a name. Then I say, welcome. And then this is like a variable that's going to retell their name. Sadly, its wings are too small to get its chubby body off the ground. Did you know that all logic defies the fact that, like, a bee should not be able to fly? Isn't that sad? But as we know, I guess, the determined and possibly even stubborn bee flies anyway. And then it goes to, and actually it's funny, this should be going to this card. So I'll show you how that works. I want to transition to scene. Boom. Then it says, now that you realize you can fly despite all logic, let's go on an adventure. Would you like to get a job or make some honey? So then we branched off to these two possibilities, right? And do you see where we're going with this? That now in period 1, we could continue this story. So the bee decides to get a job, working 9 to 5 with its briefcase and punching in the clock. And this bee decides to make honey. I don't know. I'm thinking this bee is actually smarter than this bee because, you know, the entrepreneurial spirit. And this bee, I think, stands to ultimately make more money. And, you know, but that'll remain to be seen. But I would then continue this story, in this case, in this branching manner, right? So we're going to create... Should we just continue with the bee story? We might as well, right? So now we've got these two choices. So in this game, which if anybody have their phone with them in class? Okay, if you want, in this class, because we'll be using them for this, feel free to bring your phone in. And starting tomorrow, when you test these out, like when I go to test, all I do is real simply, I go to the QR code there, and I open it right in Metaverse. So see, it's loading that experience, and there it is, right? So there's the app I just made with that other class. Now it's going, and look, this one is in AR, so see, whoops, I lost it. This happens sometimes, so the bee flew away, I guess. But there we go. And then it should take me to the next scene. We've got to troubleshoot this one a little because with the AR, I think it's waiting until I see what I'm supposed to see in the game, and then, oh, see, there's the bee. So I have to see it before I can type in a response. My name is Mr. Isaacs. Okay, then I hit next. Then it should say above the B. This being a little quirky right now. You know what it might be too, though? We have a little bit of an issue in here because of I think partially because of the website being a .io. But anyway, that's another story. So, and then it goes on with the game. So, folks, let's carry this part about the bee making honey. Where should we go to as some choices from this? We should probably add a few more character cards. So when I go add new, these are all the types of cards I could add. Look up here, folks. I could add a character scene, text input, request item. If you want to make a game where like you have to find certain things and that's how you score or that's how you advance, or maybe I have to find a bat to kill a bat in the game or something, I could do that. Camera scenes are what I used in that other app. 360 video, portal. This one's interesting because they have these projects people have done called like world portals where different people contribute, and I can do a 360 view of here, and maybe somebody in Zimbabwe does one, and we could kind of put them together in the same app and start to see all these different things. I can put in a YouTube scene, a poll, a 360 photo, all sorts of things you could do with text. You could do things with probability, like a dice roll. So think of it if you're making an RPG type game, you can do all that. So anyway, there's a whole lot you could do. We're going to start simple with the character selection, okay? So this is the one that decided to make honey. So let's say we want to have two choices for what's going to happen now, okay? And it's going to keep branching off. What should be our two choices if the bee starts making honey? What should we carry on the story to do? Like, what should be our next kind of line in the story? Okay, so what would it do to go about making the money? Set up a farm? Or how about a farm stand? Farm stand to... Oh, actually, no, we would do it this way. We would maybe go here. Set up farm stand to sell honey, right? And then that one would link to here, right? We'll figure out what that's going to be. And maybe here we need a different picture for that. So let's say we do a search for farm. There are all these 2D pictures. There are these 3D Google Poly pictures. You can also upload any picture you want. Any farm with a honeycomb. Let's... and then we can go to animated 3D. Nothing. GIF, whatever that's called. Giphy Cat. So here's some farm stuff with Giphy Cat. Oh, look, that one looks like it's even Minecraft, doesn't it? That's cool. Which one do we want? Are any of these good? Should we go with the farmer? So he's going to have other stuff besides. So there he is. And he, again, could be an AR or not. And what should we have it say? Okay, Farmer Joe decides to capitalize on, or how about decides to partner up with you and sell honey on his farm, okay? And what would be the other choice if he didn't set up a farm stand to sell honey? What else could our bee do? So just sell the honey. Sell honey to the market. Okay, so these are two choices. He's either going to kind of go into business with Farmer Joe or just sell it to the market, right? So if we do this, we might want to change what this is going to look like. And let's say market. And maybe this would be a good market for that. Looks like it, right? So now we have this market or Farmer Joe. How do we connect these? We go to the transition. We click that. We go there. Okay. And you decide to sell your weekly honey supply to the local market. Okay. Then maybe we go to here, and this determines what happens next. So, like, in other words, maybe with Farmer Joe, we come to find that we make a certain profit, or maybe Farmer Joe rips us off, or maybe, the market becomes the better solution, and we can keep going through this and make an adventure game out of this. You get the general idea? Okay, that's just as an adventure game. Anybody play HQ? Okay. You could so easily make an HQ quiz with the whole 10-second timer, and go through that whole process and have like a quiz like that if they don't answer or they get it wrong, something happens. If they get it right, they go on. There's even a game called Yas, Y-A-S, that's like HQ, that also is played online for money and stuff, that is created in Metaverse. And at one point a while ago, I don't know if they're still doing it, but the people at Metaverse were offering people who were creating these quizzes money for actually each one they submitted, right? So there are interesting things you can do there. But anyway, there's the basic of how this works. I do want you to understand as you start doing it that you can get super creative with all the... Look at this, even Google Vision. This is crazy. Anybody have the Not a Hot Dog app? Or have you ever seen that? No? Anybody know what that's from? What's that? No? Anyway, there's a TV show that has this, that this company gets all excited because they make an app called Not a Hot Dog, and they take a picture of something, and it tells you whether it is a hot dog or it is not a hot dog. With this Google Vision, this is crazy. We could say, we're going to take a picture of something and determine, is it this thing or is it not? So essentially that kind of thing. So I just want you to understand how many crazy things. See this with inventory, has item. Remember I said before, maybe you have to find a bat in order to then attack the bat. You might have to check if you have the item first. Yes? Oh, I thought you were going to ask me some great question about Metaverse. Hold on one second. Anybody else? Any questions or anything before we move on? Okay, check out the quests on this, because this is going to give you a lot of great opportunities to start creating your first games in a kind of easy way. Also, something kind of interesting about this, in my opinion, is that while oftentimes I would have you do your game with a storyboard first or a design document, I'm not as hung up on that here, because as you're building it, you're kind of building it in this web diagram format. So it's actually one of the few times I would say, hey, go ahead and try to build the experience as you go, and let's see what comes of it, because it's like doing your brainstorming and your game development at the same time. Got it? All right. So, and you can use your Bernard's BOE address to create your account. All right. To anybody who's watching our stream out there, thank you, and we'll be back. And remember to hit that follow button and all that. Also, we're moving all of our videos also to YouTube. So for those of you who don't get to catch them on Twitch, you'll see them there. Thanks.